United Nations Agenda 21 Sustainable Development. It is the inventory and control plan. Inventory and control of all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all construction, all means of production, all food, all energy, all information, and all human beings in the world. And this is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations back in 1992. It's a United Nations plan. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. And so many of us around the world think that sustainable development, it just sounds so great. Isn't it about recycling and creative reuse and creating energy and food resources for everyone? And the answer is no, it really is not. It's about moving populations into city centers, concentrated city centers, and clearing them out of the rural areas. It's constructed of non-governmental organizations, corporations, and government in order to dictate and regulate what it is that happens around the world. Regionalization is the stepping stone to globalization, and globalization is the standardization of all systems. All systems have to be brought into harmony in order to control them all. And the goal of Agenda 21 is one world government and total control from a central unit.
Hey, Shalom, Barakat Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Charchudash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom to you brothers in the highways and byways, doing the works sincerely, faithfully, and continually fighting the good fight of faith. Lord willing, we're found in that number to be delivered. All right. Now, it's a pretty interesting listen because, everything that's mentioned at the beginning of this video falls right in line with the implementation of the MOTB. All right. Now, the rubber's starting to meet the road, and not too many people can deny the fact that this is exactly what the book of Revelation 13 is talking about, what this woman has pretty much laid out to a T. All right. And at the end of this thing, what's going to happen when they implement the MOTB is total control. All right. So time is of the essence right now. If you want to be entertained, if you want to, have fancy cookouts, and you can get with the guys who do those things. But if you want to be informed, if you want to be edified, all right, you want to be kept in the loop of what's going on, then you tune in to Great Millstone. All right, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. That's just the way it is. Most guys, most groups out there want to, wow you with the bedazzling of the uniforms and, this military style outfit where they just, everything's, they're falling after Esau anyway, here in this kingdom. But all that being said, the time is short, man. The time is real short. And pretty soon you're all going to understand that the MOTB is what it was we was talking about. All right? So let's go here. We're just going to get Revelation 13. And it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right? And we know that's that mark of charagma, which means to implant or submerge. And this is what that chip is going to, be when it enters the body. It's going to be under the layers of the skin, submerged, embedded. Okay? But going back to the video, she said it. She said what they need, what the end game is, or the control is, to have all dominion and control over the animals, the water, the air, the people, the land. That's total control. In this, what we call the MOTB is going to be the common denominator of everything that's going down. All right? If you want to be a productive member in Esau society, you're going to have to follow suit. All right? So again, let me go back here real quick.
Principles are Agenda 21, Sustainable Development. It is the inventory and control plan. Inventory and control of all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all construction, all means of production, all food, all energy.
Okay, so there's the breakdown. Everything, all. All right? And this is why it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. All right? Anybody that's been teaching contrary to what we've been teaching, now their eyes are starting to become open. It doesn't make sense for Esau to go so hard just to tell you that, this thing that is going to be implemented, it's not the mark of the beast, but it's an embargo. It's sleeping with you brothers know. You know the story. You know the storyline that has been going around for the past several years of what this thing is and what it's all about. You know the storyline. Anybody that's telling you that it's something else, their hearts and desires is not to see this place be destroyed. Their hearts and desires are to be a part of this system, to live comfortably, to be in a state where, you can go and come and do whatever you want. The time is coming. They're about to lock it down. And when they lock it down, all right, we're going to see how much faith you people have. We will see how much faith you have in Yahweh Shem Yahushai when they start locking this thing down. This is Habakkuk 2:5. It says, yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires as hell, and is death, and cannot be satisfied. But gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. All right. So again, here we go again. Gathering unto himself all nations and all people. There's no other way around this. There's no other way to examine this. Why would it be written this way? Especially here in these last days. Because prophecy is going to be fulfilled. When the Lord gives Esau the green light to truly implement the MOTB, prophecy will be fulfilled. Okay? So just know that is at the door. Let's keep it moving. This is 2 Ezra 15 and 17. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So when this government shuts it down and starts taking control over every asset or every facet of this kingdom, you're not going to be able to roam freely to go about your daily business. All right? Now, we may see this particular verse, we may see this happen a few times before the MOTB gets implemented. All right? Because we also got to keep in mind, Esau sets up his military for, any type of natural disaster or any type of, uprising of the people. He'll set his military might to go shut the city down, to shut the entrance down. All right? But ultimately, what's going to end up happening is once they implement that MOTB, you ain't going nowhere. Even when you get on the highway, in order to go through to the next city or the next state, you got to go through these tolls. And these tolls are linked now to your Google Pay, where when you drive through the toll, you don't have to stop and give money anymore. The bill come directly to you. And if you don't have an account, they'll run it by your license plate. Okay? So all these things are starting to take form, man. And they're starting to take shape. And not a damn person is going to be able to stop this. All right? As I said before in the last video, we're living in some very beautiful times for the hopeful elect, man. We're living in the very beautiful times. To see it all starting to, unfold the way we prophesied it to be, it's a blessing. All right? So, the woman had mentioned in this video that there was about to...
all information and all human beings in the world. And this is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations back in 1992. It's a United Nations plan. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. And so many of us around the world think that sustainable development, it just sounds so great. Isn't it about recycling and creative reuse and creating energy and food resources for everyone? And the answer is no, it really is not. It's about moving populations into city centers, concentrated city centers, and clearing them out of the rural areas. It's constructed of non-governmental organizations, corporations, and government in order to dictate and regulate what it is that happens around the world. Regional.
You see? So going back to this 15-minute city thing, all right? So they're going to start clamping down where everything you're going to need is going to be right in a 20-minute walk radius. They talk about, how can I put this? Depopulation, right? They're talking about locking, cordoning off certain cities, certain areas. But in order for this to work, the way they see it, you got to break the population down. It says a 15-minute city is a human-centered urban planning concept that aims to make daily needs accessible within a 15 to 20-minute walk, bike ride, or other form of transportation. The goal is to reduce car use and promote walking, cycling, and public transportation, ultimately improving sustainability and livability. All right? So, if you really think about it, do these devils really care if you're walking, riding a bike? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, they strive to keep you, fat and lazy, because you start getting, complacent. And this is what they want. They want you to buy. They want you to buy. To the point where you have no motivation. But this is all what's coming. This is all what's coming. Now, how they're actually going to implement this 15-minute structure, it still remains to be seen. But in some locations in this country, they're already starting the groundwork to get these things in proper place. All right? So the 15-minute city is going to work right hand in hand when the MOTB gets introduced, man. So if that's going to be the same, let's look at this. Excuse me. Now, she had mentioned Agenda 21, and she also made mention about how it came about and how many countries were involved, right? So it says, jumping down right to it, says Rio de Janeiro, It says it addresses social and economical dimensions like poverty, resource management, including deforestation and pollution. Now, Esau's funny, man. Esau's a funny dude. He likes to always talk about the extinction of certain animals. You gotta save the wildlife because they're on the verge of being extinct. All right? Deforestation. Who are committing all these crimes? Who's behind it all? So again, they'll tell you something in one ear with a with a smile, but on the other hand, it's the total opposite. With a cane, in their hand behind their back, waiting to get at you. All right, and it says, in strengthening the role of major groups like NGOs and local authorities. While the original plan has been succeeded by modern framework like the Sustainability Development Goals, SDG, it continues to inspire local initiatives known as Local Agenda 21 program worldwide. And that worldwide goes again right hand in hand with heaping unto him all people and all nations. All right? So we're going to see how the ball drops on this thing. There have already been some, controversy about whether or not, if it was legal or not, or if they were infringing upon your rights, this, that, and the third. You people are so stupid. You ain't got any rights. Your rights went out the door when Esau started showing his horns. Right? So with that, I want to land back on that from the earlier video I saw. But Lord willing, it's edifying. I'm going to see y'all brothers know. I'm going to say shalom.